So here are the tools that I'll be using to complete this recipe. I'll be using a peeler, which is just a standard vegetable peeler, a knife, some measuring spoons, and a mincer. Now, the mincer we're going to use both for the garlic and the ginger that's included in this recipe. So the things that I'll be using are this raw soy sauce, which I purchased off of Detox.com. I'm going to be using this olive oil, which is an organic cold pressed olive oil. I'm using this to replace the sesame oil, which I know has a different flavor, but it's all I have in my kitchen now. So next time I make this recipe, I'll use the sesame oil. But for now, this will do. The recipe calls for an added sweetener, which they recommend this stevia sweetener, but I'm actually going to use the agave. I'm not yet used to the taste of the stevia yet. So as I become more accustomed to that and I find that my palate likes it a little bit better, I'll start incorporating that. I'll be adjusting the portions of this. I'm just making this this small piece instead of 4 pieces, which is what the recipe calls for. So I'm adjusting the measurements. Here you see I've already minced my garlic by using my mincer here. Made it very easy. So I actually did 2 cloves of garlic. I'm a big garlic fan, so I like a little bit of extra garlic flavor. If you don't like it so much, you can use 1. I've measured out 2 tablespoons of this raw unpasteurized soy sauce. That's what I mean when I say raw. It's unpasteurized. I'm not even going to attempt that name, but that's what I have here in these 2 small containers, is 1 tablespoon in each container. So it also calls for minced ginger. If you're not really familiar with working with ginger, it's this stuff. You oftentimes will see this in your produce section and maybe not know what it's for. It's very easy to take your vegetable peeler and simply just scrape off some of the outer skin of the ginger, and you sort of come up with a piece that looks similar to this, which is just sort of the meat of the ginger root. And this is what we're actually going to mince in our garlic press, and I'm going to attempt to use that for this as well and combine it in here with the garlic that I've already minced. So we'll go ahead and see if we can do this here on camera, just so you can get an idea of how it works. Pretty much this utensil that I have here is just a simple press with a mesh, sort of a mesh in there. That's what will mince your product that you're using, and you pretty much just take it and squeeze it using your you know, your squeeze is the pressure that applies to mince the garlic. So we're going to go ahead and try that out right now, just so you can sort of see how it looks. And as you see, even just with one hand, the pressure is already mincing that ginger there. So that's what we're going to use in our recipe, is this minced ginger. So I'll go ahead and complete that. Just wanted to give you guys an idea of how that works in case you've never worked with fresh ginger before. Okay. Right, so I have minced the ginger, which didn't work as easy as the garlic, but I still got a pretty good you know, mashing of that ginger. I may use a different technique for that next time, but for my purposes, I've got the garlic and the ginger already in there. So I'm going to go ahead and add that mixture onto my salmon here. We're pretty much just going to make a quick marinade for it. So I've got that in there. I'll add in the 2 tablespoons of the soy sauce right on top of that. Okay. Then I'm going to add in a bit of the sweetener, which I'm just sort of eyeballing that there. I'm pretty good with the measurements, as I do a lot of marinades. That's about 1.5 tablespoons of the agave is what I'm using in this for the sweetness. If you're using the stevia, you can use a packet or 2 of that. For the olive oil, I'll measure that out. I just want to use a little bit of oil in this marinade, so I'm only going to put maybe 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil in there, just to coat the fish and make it nice and moist when I bake this. So I'm going to measure out 2 tablespoons of the cold pressed olive oil to include in my marinade. In the bowl, I'm ready to marinate, and you can marinate this for anywhere from 1 hour up to 24 hours, depending on how much time you have. I'm trying to eat tonight, so I'm only going to marinate mine for about an hour and a half. So, see you when it's time to put it in the oven. So, I'm waiting for the salmon to get done. It's marinating in the refrigerator. And I just thought I'd take a few seconds just to show you guys a little bit more about what I did today. This is actually my dinner that I'm fixing right now. I plan on accompanying this dinner with some salad, you know, probably a mixed salad, and maybe a cooked vegetable, maybe like steamed broccoli or something like that. But I'm going to include a raw vegetable and then possibly a cooked vegetable, or just a raw vegetable in the fish. I can also include on this salad some really good stuff that I've recently just learned about or started using, which is a raw goat cheese, meaning it's an unpasteurized goat cheese product, which I purchased from Whole Foods. It's a really, really good cheese, grated on top. It tastes so good. I ate a salad today at lunch, which I also wanted to tell you about that as well. The salad I had for lunch was really delicious. It was some local lettuce that I found at the U-Pick farm here near my house. It's a soft lettuce, sort of like a butter lettuce, if you've ever seen that in the store, if you're purchasing from a supermarket. It's one of those softer texture lettuces. That lettuce, some fresh basil, some tomatoes, and then I grated on the unpasteurized goat cheese. And then I made a quick salad dressing just out of a little bit of balsamic vinegar, olive oil, and lemon. And I put that on top of there. It was delicious. Accompanying that, I had a baked organic sweet potato, which I baked in the oven at around a temperature of 350 for about an hour. Just poking holes in the skin of the sweet potato and putting it on a baking sheet, not wrapping it in aluminum foil. If you like it crisper, you can take it out sooner. If you like it more mushy, you can leave it in for a little bit longer. But on that, I actually sprinkled some pumpkin pie spice from McCormick's, and that was really good. So I'll show you guys what those things look like in the next shot. You'll see the goat cheese and the pumpkin pie spice. Okay? Thanks.